We are live from Motor Barn Restaurant at the Harley Davidson Museum for Marquette Thursdays radio show, presented by Aurora Healthcare, the healthcare choice of Marquette Athletics. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Coach. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you, Layla?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. So, despite the loss, the team went 11 from 19 from the three-point line against Seton Hall. What was working offensively?
Well, we made shots from outside, which we've been looking for. Now we got to combine making shots from outside with making shots around the basket. We've gotten much, much better in the previous 3, 4, 5 games at finishing around the basket. Not as well against Seton Hall. We had some plays that we'd love to have back to show them the basketball, get to the foul line. There was not a lot of fouls called, either way. So it was a very physical game, and it was one where you got to kind of play through some of that physicality, find a way to get second shots back when you miss. But I thought our guys did a good job stepping up and making shots from outside.
I see. And Adrian had a career high of 5 assists. How has his playmaking evolved so far this season?
Adrian's coming a long way. I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch. I remember going in and seeing him for the first time at Bullis High School, and his growth has been both as a person and as a player, which is how it's supposed to be. Those things go hand in hand. His confidence has really grown. He works incredibly hard. You're talking about a guy that's always getting extra shots in the gym, always watching extra tape, always coming to the office, asking what he can do, how he can improve, wanting to watch film with me and the other coaches. So we knew it was just a matter of time before he improved. I told him the other day, I said, think about how much time you wasted in the summer and the fall worrying about whether you were going to play or not. Now you're out there playing 30, 35 minutes in a game, and that's the furthest thing from your mind, worrying about how much playing time you're going to get. You're getting actually more than you even, probably can handle sometimes. But I'm proud of him. He's getting better and better as a playmaker. Him and NJ together are an exciting, backcourt of the future.
That's so inspiring for him. When you did that first visit for him, what stood out immediately when you were watching him?
Well, actually, I went to see another guy on his team. He played for a very good high school team that had several Division I prospects, and the other guy wasn't quite what we were looking for in terms of a Marquette guy. And I saw this young sophomore. He was actually wearing a Villanova sweatshirt while he was playing out there with his team. And he was aggressive. He was tough. He was making shots. He was physical. He was getting to the basket. He was doing all these things. He was competitive. And so I asked the coach, I said, who's that? That's the best player on your team. And he said, that's Adrian Stevens. And at that point, he had never started a game for the team. In fact, his whole sophomore year, he came off the bench. But, he just kept getting better and better, and we kept going back to see him play, and now he's here.
That's such a great story. And Nigel, 2 back-to-back Big East Freshman of the Week. What are you liking about his consistency?
Well, I think, the biggest thing with NJ is he's really stepped forward as a leader. And, he's getting more and more attention from the other team in terms of the defense. And, he's learning to figure out how to play, when to shoot, when to pass, how to play against a lot of help coverage, a lot of different coverages on pick and rolls. And I'm proud of him because he's really approaching it with great maturity, Layla. He's not trying to, force the issue. He's making the right play. He's learning from every game. He speaks up. He speaks up more than anyone on our team, which, when you draw it up, you don't necessarily say you want a freshman as that guy, but he stepped into a void that's been there on our team and provided a great level of leadership speaking forward.
How much of an impact does that make when he does speak up, do you feel?
Huge impact. Yeah, huge impact. I mean, I think what we've learned, over the course of this season is some guys are kind of made for that vocal leadership role and some guys are not. And you don't want to necessarily put a square peg in a round hole or vice versa. I think for him, the future is really, really bright because as he continues to gain confidence, continues to get his feet under him, with each game he's getting more and more repetitions, more and more experience. He just becomes even more of a leader, and he knows he can do it even more so than he did the time before. It's also really good for him kind of being the second time around playing against some of these teams because he's seen what they did the first time. He can go back and watch the video, and then he can apply what he's learned.
I love how he adjusts now that he's playing them for the second time around. So when you look at Adrian and Nigel together, what excites you the most about the backcourt pairing in the future?
Well, that they're freshmen. They always say the most exciting thing about freshmen is that they become sophomores. So, in a matter of time that they will continue to grow and develop. I think those guys have taken on a really good leadership role. They don't really take a back seat to anyone, even though they're freshmen on our team. They're getting really, really close relationship-wise with Royce Parham, with Demarius Owens, two other guys that are out there quite a bit. So there's a lot of excitement with that young group in terms of what we can become. But, hey, we got a game in 2 days. We're trying to win on Saturday against Butler, and so that's where our focus is.
So Cam Jones is back at Pfizer Farm tomorrow. What have you liked from his game recently, watching his game?
Well, it was cool. I don't know how many of the fans saw it, but they had a bunch of guys out in their last game, the Indiana Pacers. So Cam actually got his first NBA start. And, he hadn't been playing many minutes. He'd been getting like 2 minutes here, 1 minute there, 5 minutes. And he'd been playing fine, but just hadn't gotten an extended amount of time in the game. And so the other night he started, he played significant minutes. At halftime, he was on pace for a triple-double. And I was like, wow, that'd be really cool if he got a triple-double in his first start. He ended with, I think, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. So very good game. He's on a team that's going through a lot of injuries, and they're going through some struggles as a team. But he's learning, he's growing. It's great to have him in Milwaukee. They got in, a couple hours ago. I haven't seen him yet because we had practice. I came right to the show from practice, but hopefully going to get a chance to run into him tonight. Won't be able to go to his game tomorrow night because Coach Crean's coming. We have an event with him tomorrow evening, and then obviously getting ready for the game on Saturday afternoon.
And Cam also attended his charity event where he spent the afternoon at the movies with the Concord Neighborhood Center kids and watched Space Jam. What do you make of that?
Well, it's cool. Cam is like NJ. You see certain guys that just gravitate towards kids, and Stevie was like this for sure. When they get around kids, their eyes light up and they get excited, and it's almost like they're at home. They're in an element that they are comfortable with. And so it'll be cool to watch Cam's giving and his community outreach as he gets his feet under him as an NBA player, because I think he'll be a guy that can really impact the community. And I bet you he wants to come back to Milwaukee and do some things here because of the way he feels about Marquette, because of the way he feels about our fans here, our community here. You guys got to understand, Cam Jones has a Marquette jersey tattooed on his calf. You're not going to find a guy who is more loyal and, feels more strongly about Marquette. And that's why, I'll tell you what, Layla, the couple months after he got done playing, after our season ended last year, he went through a pretty deep depression, knowing that he had to leave this community. And, I'm glad that he's doing better now. He's got his feet under him, and obviously it's not so bad being in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what else he does for the community. Marquette fans, there is nothing like a sea of blue and gold when you're catching your Golden Eagles live and in color. Get tickets all season, even if it's last minute. At Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Marquette Golden Eagles. Hear more from Coach about the Marquette team after the break. We'll be right back with more from Motor Barn Restaurant, home of Marquette Thursdays.
Hey, Golden Eagles fans, do you
find your next vehicle or supporting local events? We believe in doing our part to make Wisconsin stronger. That same pride and teamwork are what make Marquette Basketball special. And we're proud to cheer on the Golden
interview with head coach Shaka Smart is brought to you by Bergstrom Automotive. Bergstrom Automotive, driving Wisconsin forward and proud to stand with Marquette Basketball. We are here at Motor Barn Restaurant, and if you guys haven't already, you guys got to try the Mardi Gras. Have you tried it at all, Coach? Like any gumbo or anything?
I've not, but I like the food here. Very, very good food here at Motor.
Yes, I have to try it too. So our incoming signees from the class of 2026 are Alex Ebuanu and Ethan Johnston. Congratulations to them on their McDonald's All-American nominations. So we talked a little bit earlier this season about like how they're playing. How has their season now been going?
Really well. Both those guys are playing well. You know, we follow every single game. Now with technology, we can watch every game they play on video, either live on a live stream, or we watch it back later after the game. And so, you know, literally we watched every game that they've played this year. It's been fun to follow them. I've gotten a chance to see each of them play in person once. I know Cody's been out to see them as well. Both guys are doing well. Their teams are doing well. Alex has been a real leader, energy giver on his team. He does a little bit of everything. Ethan the same. You know, he's playing point guard at 6'7". He's, you know, rebounding the ball quite a bit. He's contributing to, you know, distributing to his teammates and scoring. So both those guys are having very good seasons.
You talk about Alex's energy. Can you like describe that when you're looking at him?
Well, he's a guy that we like to say he has pop. So he has a lot of like energy to him. He has a lot of, you know, juice. There's a lot of juice in his orange, and that's good. He's a guy you're not going to miss. When you go watch him play, you're going to hone in on him right away. First of all, he's got a really unique body. He's built almost like a linebacker. He's about 6'6", long arms, barrel-chested, almost 240 pounds as a high school senior. And he's a guy that plays with a lot of force. He dunks the ball a lot, which is great. We love dunks. And then he makes a lot of threes. So that's a really good combination. We love guys that can dunk the ball, make threes, and then play in between as well. And then Ethan's a guy who is a little bit more slight of build, but he's getting stronger and his body is getting bigger and he's filling out. He's a big boy for a guard. He's 6'7". You know, he can really cover a lot of ground, very athletic. He can really, really go up and get the ball vertically. And he just can do a lot of different things. Good passer, good defensive player, good cutter. And he's somebody that I think is going to be able to contribute to our team in a lot of different ways.
What have you liked from Alex and Ethan's in terms of like leadership?
Well, they're both, I mean, when you're in high school and you've signed to come to Marquette or any Big East school, that means you're probably by far the best player on your team. You know, NJ was a unique situation in that I thought he was the best player on his team, but he was playing with other guys going to the ACC or the Big Ten or different places, and that's why they had one of the top high school teams in the country. But most of the time, it's, you know, Michael Phillips signed to go to Marquette, and then really no one else on his team that's even going to, you know, any other Division I level school. So, you know, you get a lot of attention from the other team defensively when you're in that situation, and there's a lot of weight on your shoulders in terms of leadership and in terms of helping the guys around you be the best version of themselves, but without getting frustrated with them because maybe they can't do certain things you can do. It's easy as a great high school player to say, oh man, you know, can't wait till I'm in college when other guys are as good as me. But right now, these guys are seniors in high school. They got to live in the moment, and they're doing a great job of that, pouring into their teammates. I love the fact that, you know, even if their team goes through a little adversity, they come together with their teammates, try to figure it out. Both of them have very good connections with their head coaches, which I think bodes well for the connection that we will have once they get to Marquette.
Yeah, that definitely fits like the relationships, growth, and victory. So I love that. So speaking of high school success, Tre Norman knows a little bit about that. He'll be on here later tonight. Tre had 4 high school championships. What habits from that championship have you seen translate into the Marquette program?
Well, I mean, he's always been a winner. Going back to his first year in high school, he went to a school called Tech Boston and was playing with a bunch of older guys and got called up to the varsity team and was able to participate and help that team win a championship, even though he was one of the younger guys, and learned a lot from those guys. Fast forward to, he ended up transferring to a prep school, Worcester Academy, and he was part of one of the better high school teams that I've seen in recent memory. Had a teammate that signed to Duke. Tre came here, another teammate that's at Georgetown. So that they were loaded, and they had a bunch of other guys on their team that went to lower-level Division I schools. So he's been a part of a lot of winning. He's been a part of winning here early in his career, playing with Tyler, playing with Oso, playing with Cam, Stevie, Jop. His maturity is something that is really beneficial to our program. He understands that to win, you've got to contribute to each other. You've got to pour into each other. He's a very good teammate. He's gotten tougher and stronger and more physical since he's been here. So he's an important part of our team.
You highlight Tre's maturity. Is there a particular example that comes to mind right away?
Oh, lots of examples. I mean, he's been through some adversity since he's been here, like a lot of guys do when they go to college. He's been through some challenges, off the court, been through some challenges on the court, whether it's injuries or maybe not playing quite as much as he wanted. And he's always handled it with unbelievable class and maturity, and he's always focused on uplifting his teammates. And that's a sign of someone that's got a bright future. I think that, when Tre's done playing, he's a guy that's going to be a coach.
What part of Tre's development are you most proud of?
I think the biggest thing I'm proud of with Tre is his willingness to pour into his personal growth. He, I would say, leads the team since he got to Marquette in journal entries. A proud moment was when he filled up his first journal. I give these guys journals, and some of the guys write only really when I kind of prompt them to, which is fine. That's still a lot more than most people do in college. But Tre is very active, recording things from team meetings, writing down his own thoughts, his own takeaways. So a proud moment, this was last season, was when he filled up his first journal, and I think he's probably close to another one or a third one even. He's also really, really bought into reading, and not just obviously what he's got to do for class. He's a very good student, but also for personal development and growth as a player and person. So he's done a really good job reading. There's some books that, he and Cody have read together, or some books that he's read that I've previously read that we're able to discuss. And obviously that bodes well for his future.
I did not know you gave the guys journals. That's so interesting to me.
Oh, journaling is, to me, one of the best habits and routines that you can build as a younger person, even an older person. It's something about it. It's therapeutic, and it's very, very valuable to look back at what you wrote. To me, particularly at the same time of year in previous years, because a lot of times the rhythm of the season, you're going through maybe something similar to what this is my 17th year as a head coach, so I can look back at a lot of journals from early February, and I can read about maybe what our team was going through at that point and maybe some of the challenges that we were having to overcome. And that's one of the positives of journaling. So it kind of made a commitment to myself that I was going to get our guys starting in that, really even before they got here, once they signed with us, and then really get into it strongly once guys got here.
How often do you look at your old journals?
Often. I have them in my office at home, and then I have pulled out a couple journals from a specific year, specific times of year that I look back at almost every day. If it's on some mornings I can't sleep, so I'm up super, super early with a lot of time on my hands. So one of the things I do is I go back and read a lot of past journal entries.
I love that. What is something that the fans might not know about Tre that you think that they should know?
Tre's very, very creative. He has an extremely creative mind. He's got a clothing line. He's got, in his past life, he was an exceptional dancer. You'll have to ask him about, a specific type of dance that he was into. But he has a creative side of him that's really, really neat. And then he's also got he's the type of guy that you want in the bunker with you when, there's some type of conflict going on. You want him with you. You want him walking down that dark alley with you because he's very loyal. He has a real mental and physical toughness about him, and he's someone that is also very, very intelligent. Like I said, if he wants to, he could become a very, very good coach down the line, but he also there may be several other professions he'd rather go into after playing.
Why do you say that you can see him being a coach down the line? Like, what's like the biggest quality that stands out?
Well, you can just see, like, he speaks up a lot in the film room when we're watching video. He'll speak up a lot in the huddles when it's just players only. So he sees certain things out there the way that a coach would. He and Sean Jones both have that quality. And so I really appreciate when he does speak up to the guys, and he has that maturity about him. So, again, if he wants to, it's something he'll be good at.
I love that. Stick around to hear from Tre Norman after this break.
At the Harley Davidson Museum, presented by Aurora Healthcare, the healthcare choice of Marquette Athletics. Tonight's Marquette player interview is brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, the official banking partner of Marquette University and home to Marquette Checking with free ATMs nationwide. Please welcome Tre Norman, everybody. We're super excited to have him on tonight. Tre, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I'm really curious what National Marquette Day is like for a player. I mean, it's like a holiday and you guys are working. What is it like?
There's really a lot of excitement and buzz around the game, around the day, around the holiday, leading up to it, weeks leading up to it. It can kind of work for you or it could work against you. Sometimes there's situations where, as players, we get too excited and kind of don't do the necessary details that we need to carry over in the game, and it kind of may cost us. And then there's sometimes where we could use all that energy and, you know, go out there and do exactly what we need to do, and we have all the energy we need. We're electric. You guys are electric, and it's just a great environment. So it's very, you kind of have to find a balance as a player, because we can't get up at 7 a.m. in pregame like some of our peers. But, you know, we use all the energy we can take from the game and, you know, go after winning regardless.
And it's unique, right? I mean, how many colleges have their own holiday to celebrate?
Yeah.
And you guys are the focus of it, so it must be pretty special.
Yeah, it is. Some other schools, you know, they have their holidays, but they're celebrating it with their football team, you know. We celebrated with you guys, and you guys celebrated with us, so it's amazing.
It's special. I want to talk about your high school success. So you're from the East Coast, and pronounce it for me.
Worcester.
There you go. You knew I was going to ask, because it's a hard name. So you started at Tech Boston, then you went to, one more time?
Worcester.
Okay. And you talked about Tech Boston kind of gave you your toughness, kind of, and then, say it again? Worcester got you kind of polished and smoothed out. So what was that kind of like, and then how did it help you here?
I just feel like the experience I had in both situations kind of developed me into a whole person. Like I said, I grew up in the inner city. Everything up until my 10th grade year of high school was public school. So I kind of got the lived experience of being in a public school. Being in the inner city is a lot of, you know, distractions, a lot of things that can take you off course and off route in my neighborhood. And that just kind of where I developed like the toughness and the grittiness that I have to me. But me going to prep school, Worcester Academy, gave me like the foundation. It was a real culture shock for me going to boarding school. I was living out there. It was my first time. I was 16. I couldn't go home and see my mom after school and stuff like that. And it was really hard for me, but I developed. And my head coach, Jamie Sullivan, he made it his purpose to make sure I was acclimated well. And, you know, he saw a lot of potential in me. He helped me. And in return, you know, me and my teammates got him 2 back-to-back championships. And like I said, I just feel like the whole experience as together made me a whole person. I had half of it at Tech Boston, and I got the other half at Worcester Academy, and it helped me become who I am coming in here.
With that prep school experience, do you think it made the transition here easier, like living on your own and all that?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I haven't lived at home since I was 16, so by the time I got to coming to college, it was different because now Worcester's only an hour away from Boston, so like I can go home on certain weekends, but you know, being out here in Milwaukee, I got to get on a flight. But as far as being on my own and living by myself, it was actually better coming here because, I mean, I have a roommate, but we have different rooms. And boarding school, you literally, like, I'm sleeping here and he's sleeping right here. And it's almost head-to-head, so.
Yeah. Now, at Marquette, I want to talk about these player-led huddles. I've heard a lot about those. So, I mean, I don't think a lot of people would know. I heard that the first 30 seconds is you guys. You lead it. Can you kind of talk about that perspective?
Yeah, so when the timeout's called, like you said, the first 30 seconds is us, coach, and the rest of the coaching staff kind of go behind our media timeout chairs, and they discuss what they discuss. And within those 30 seconds, whoever wants to lead anybody, somebody coming out of the game who was just in, or somebody on the bench, whoever, it could be anybody, but you just kind of say what you see. Sometimes it's good to hear from other guys, get different perspectives, and everybody's voice is heard in those player huddles. And a lot of the older guys take personal pride in taking those because, you know, they have a lot of experience, and we just, you know, been around the Big East a little longer. But, yeah, everybody has valid say in those huddles.
What kind of gives you the initiative to jump in there? Is it like you see something that's going on in the court, and is it easier as a player, I guess, to like talk to your peers?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely easy. There's a lot of eyeball contracts when it's just the players. A lot of stuff that we say may not be like the nicest in the moment, but it's going towards winning. So we all know that we all love each other and we all want to win, and we're going after the same thing. So there's no hard feelings there. But yeah, the initiative, like for me, if I'm coming out of the game and it's like a media timeout and I'm coming out and I have something I like we got beat, we had no orange help 3 times in a row on a pick and roll. Like, I'm going into that meeting, I'm sitting in that chair, and that's like the first thing I'm saying, and then it kind of the rest flows from there.
Yeah. And you also, Coach mentioned, you love to use your voice in the film room. You're not afraid to speak up in that either, right?
Yeah.
And also with the journaling, I'm curious in this, have you ever done anything like that on other teams, or was this kind of a new thing?
Nah, yeah, I never journaled. I got introduced to like the benefits of journaling towards my senior year of high school, but I still never like got my own journal until I got to college when Coach gave us all a journal. Even my freshman year, I wasn't like super bought into the journaling because it was just something new for me. I never I didn't know what to write about. I didn't know what to say. Like, am I talking to myself? Am I talking to my future self? Like, I didn't know what to do. But as he started giving us more journal prompts, I kind of started to take it out on my own. And, now I'm at the point where I can just journal about anything. Sometimes I journal about how I'm feeling. Sometimes I journal to myself in the future. Or just different things to write about, a book I'm reading, anything, to be honest. So.
And you get a new one each season, or it kind of
Anytime
rolls
you
over?
Finish one.
You get a new one. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And not to put you on the spot, but I want to hear about these dance moves.
That was a bluff. I don't indulge in those. Yeah, I don't indulge in those type of activities anymore. I was young. I used to love Chris Brown. I used to watch a lot of Stomp the Yard and Step Up, and I thought I was something I'm not. But let my mom tell it. I should have kept dancing.
All right, but now just basketball.
Yeah,
no more dancing.
Just basketball.
Okay, got it. And with kind of your role on the team now, I mean, you had great leaders in front of you, Cam, Stevie, Tyler, all of them. How do you kind of take on more of a leadership role now, maybe than before?
Just stepping into my own more and more, believing in myself more and more. I've taken a lot away from the guys before me. TK, he was more assertive, more like serious in the way he led. Cam was more of a leader in the sense of like, being free, not being confined to any like label. He was himself every day, and that was like amazing to see. And I just kind of took little small aspects of the way they led and kind of built it into my own. And just me being an older guy, I wasn't scared to talk as a freshman or as a sophomore, but I just feel like my voice is a lot bigger and a lot more needed now. So.
And on the court, I feel like you are very helpful in certain moments, like the and ones, diving for loose balls. Where does that come from? Is that just working as hard as you can on the court?
Yeah, I mean, I pride myself in being ready. Whether I play 16, whether I play 2, it really don't matter. I go into every game prepared to play 30, and anytime I'm given the opportunity to go out there, I'm taking advantage of the opportunity the best I can, whether that's getting on a loose ball, getting a steal, assist, a layup. It don't really matter to me. I'm just trying to hoop.
Are there any underclassmen you've kind of been drawn to that you feel like you're similar to?
Underclassmen, I mean, me and NJ have history as far as like, he's played AAU in my area. He played for Expressions. I played against him in high school, things of that nature. And he's just a very, very talented freshman, a young man in general. He's a great person. But honestly, Nash Walker, he just got here not too long ago, and I honestly think he will be, if not better, but a reincarnation of Tyler Kolek.
Wow.
To be honest. I think
that's big praise.
Some of the things he does in practice as far as like his vision and his passing is just second to none. And I feel like it took TK a little time to get to that. I mean, obviously TK was always a great point guard, but Nash got it. I mean, he's been playing over them waters for a long time, so he kind of got a little vision we might not have over here, but I think he's going to be a great player, and I believe in him the most.
That's big praise. So back to NJ, you guys played your Northeast championships against him. Mm-hmm. So like you had that connection when he came here, right?
Yeah. It was kind of similar to the same connection I had with Chase. They both went to Cushing Academy, just different years. I played against both of them. But yeah, me and NJ, it wasn't like we didn't have the greatest connection as far as like talking all the time prior to him getting here, but like we knew of each other. We were similar areas. The basketball world is small. Yeah. So us playing against each other was a cool experience. Fortunately, my team won. We got the best of that game. But even then, I think he was a sophomore in high school or maybe a freshman. I'm not 100% sure, but he was a main factor in that game for Cushion, and it was a very close game. I think we won by like 3, so he could have easily gotten the best of my team that day. But yeah,
But you came out.
Yeah, we came out on top. But I mean, I'm glad NJ decided to come to Marquette because, man, that kid is talented.
He very much is. And talk a little bit about being from the East Coast and now you're here. Is it different? Not that different? I mean, the Midwest is pretty different from the East Coast.
It's different in a sense, like sometimes when I'm driving to go to different coaches' houses, it's like there'd be like 5 miles of just like nothingness, and it's just like, and it's dark, you can't see nothing, and my mindset is like if anything appears in the road, I'm not stopping.
Okay.
'Cause, I watch a lot of scary movies, but it was really different when I first got here. Just the people and the culture was very different. The Milwaukee culture is very different from Boston, but I mean, at the end of the day, the inner city, I like to, try to impact the inner city wherever I'm at. And I feel like being with Marquette, we do a lot of community work. And to me, a lot of inner cities are very similar. I see a lot of similarities within the inner city of Milwaukee that Boston has and that I've grown up around. So there's some similarities and some differences, but I love them all.
What is your favorite thing to do in Milwaukee, if you had to pick? Favorite place to eat, favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing to do in Milwaukee is probably like sit in my room and watch a movie, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm really into film.
Okay.
Like,
what's a favorite?
That's a hard.
I know. Sorry, you could do top 3 even.
All right, let me do. No. Let me do a show. So I just recently started watching Game of Thrones. Well, I didn't just recently. I finished Game of Thrones. I watched House of Dragons, finished that, and now I'm on the Knights of the Seven Kingdom, waiting for the next episode coming out Sunday. But that is the greatest thing.
That's a lot. That's a lot of episodes, right?
But that's just the greatest thing put on television.
Wow.
Ever in history.
Okay.
Feel me?
I've never seen it, so
yeah, you should definitely watch it.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to watch all of it? Because there's a lot of seasons, right?
It took me a lot, but if anybody's ever watched Game of Thrones, just know they call me Trey Stark. I'm a Targaryen some other days, but I'm really a Stark for real at heart.
And I want to hear a movie. If you had to pick one. You like scary movies, right?
Yeah, but I love scary movies. Conjuring is a good
that's a dark
movie,
one.
but F1. I recently watched F1
that
with
was good. Brad Pitt.
With my ex-roommate Al and my girlfriend. We watched F1
in the theater.
Yeah, in the theater when it first came out, and that was an amazing movie. Amazing, goosebumps.
It was good, and the British guy.
Yes, Damson.
Yeah, he's great. Loved him.
And Snowfall, Franklin Saint.
That's a good show too. Yes. Transitioning to a different sport. Are you a Patriots fan?
Yeah, right now I am for sure.
So you're rooting for them?
Yeah.
Just right now, or you've always been a?
No. I don't really care for football enough to be like a ride or die. My dad is a Patriots fan. I love my dad, and when the Patriots doing good, I'm doing good.
Okay.
So.
No interest in the Packers?
Nah, not at all. None.
Whoa. I don't think you should say that in this room.
I love the Patriots. I'm sorry, but
once you go to Lambeau Field, I think you change your mind.
We went to Lambeau Field. It was nice. We had a retreat over there and everything.
And it didn't convert you? Wow.
Just love the Patriots, man.
Okay, that's fair. Celtics then too?
Oh yeah, Celtics. If they do bad, I'm doing bad. I'm a Jason Tatum fan. That's the greatest player in the world.
Okay. That's fine. You can that's a fair opinion.
Yeah.
And is there a hockey team in Boston?
Bruins.
Bruins.
Yeah,
Thank
Boston
you.
Bruins, Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Okay.
All those other sports I don't really indulge in, but
so
I'm
just
always
basketball.
Just basketball. I'm a ride or die. But all the other ones, if they're doing good and they make it far, then I'm on the bandwagon.
Okay.
But I'm not supporting other teams. If you get what I mean.
Just if the Patriots are doing well, then you're gonna cheer for them.
If they wasn't in the Super Bowl, whoever would be playing, I wouldn't. Whoever wins, I could care less.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the Bucks or the Brewers?
I love the Celtics.
Okay, that's it. Okay, he's just a Celtics fan. No Milwaukee sports.
I love Fiserv Forum though.
There we go.
I love Fiserv Forum.
I mean,
when it says Marquette, that MU, beautiful.
I mean, that's a crazy. You guys play in an NBA stadium.
That is crazy.
What is that like? I mean,
it's amazing. The lights are always the brightest. I remember my first time playing in an actual NBA stadium, and now that I can say that I'm used to playing in an NBA stadium in college is a great thing to say.
in the Big East, is there another stadium that makes you feel like that, or not really?
Nah. Fiserv Forum.
Just Fiserv.
Fiserv.
I mean, fair. How could anything be better?
Fiserv Forum.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Tre, for joining us tonight, and we wish you the best on National Marquette Day. Hope you can still have some fun.
Yes, let's get that dub.
Let's do it. Motor Bar and Restaurant at the Harley Davidson Museum is the place to be for all Marquette fans this season. Make sure to join us on select Thursday nights throughout the season to hear from head coach Shaka Smart and his players. Our next show is February 12th when Demarius Owens will join us here at Motor Bar and Restaurant. Bergstrom Automotive, driven to deliver guest experiences across Wisconsin. Proud to support Marquette Basketball. Stay tuned for more from Marquette Thursdays after this break. Harley Davidson Museum, presented by Aurora Healthcare, the healthcare choice of Marquette Athletics. CareSource is a nonprofit health plan that leads with heart. As part of an ongoing commitment to investing in the people and the communities they serve, they're proud to partner with Marquette Basketball to support Sharp. For every assist made, CareSource will contribute $10 to the Reading with the Golden Eagles program. As of today, Marquette has 355 assists so far this season. Welcome back, Coach. How you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you. National Marquette Day.
Yes.
How are you feeling? You have a couple under your belt. Does the magic of National Marquette Day ever go away?
Well, I mean, it's a unique day, and it's a great celebration of our university. I think the important thing for us, players and coaches, is, just understanding that we have a job to do, and we have a very, very specific focus to win a game. When you win on National Marquette Day, it makes it a better day for everyone.
Yeah.
And, I think obviously for maybe certain other folks on National Marquette Day, it's just maybe an all-day party. And, there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's done in a safe way.
Of course.
But for us, it's about waking up with a level of focus and coming together and, doing our final preparation and then going into the game, playing with a level of poise and aggression that allows you to go take the game.
Well, and you're rematching with Butler, and that's obviously got to be big, right, to play them on this day.
Well, one of the things I really enjoy about the Big East is you get to play everyone twice. Most leagues, they have so many teams that you only play maybe half or even a third of the teams twice. We play everyone at home. We play everyone away. And it gives you the chance to watch the video, see what worked, see what didn't work, see what teams try to exploit against you, look at different personnel factors, and, then play the game the second time. And, it really hasn't been too long since we played them. It's only been a few games in between. So we're excited about this opportunity. I know our guys, this has been the longest break we've had, obviously, in between games since the holidays. In some ways, it's been good for some of the guys physically. Certainly Ben Gold, who was banged up. I mean, we were talking with some of our fans in the back here that came to practice. He's moving better than he has, in the last several weeks just from having a couple of days off. So, knock on wood, hopefully that can be good for him and for us, and we're excited about Saturday.
Do you think teams coming to Fiserv on a day like that gives you a bit of an advantage, you would hope?
Well, I think that the advantage has to come from us, internally. We have to create it. I always tell our guys, the fans are going to be awesome, but at the same time, we have to be the initial domino.
Yeah.
We've got to be the ones that make the type of plays that the crowd and the fans appreciate. We watched some video today, and there were some plays. I said, hey, guys, how do you think the fans will react to a play like that?
Yeah.
How do you think they'll react to a play like this? And, they know. There's nobody that enjoys a loud, electric Fiserv more than our players. And so, it's important for us to do our part to be the initial domino in creating that.
And there's also going to be some other stuff going on. Tom Crean is being honored, and then the 05-06 team is also being recognized. That's a big day.
Big day. Very, very, very excited for Coach Crean. I think, a lot of folks have heard me say before, I've got a lot of appreciation for him. When I first got in as a young guy to the Division I level, it was when he was just getting going here at Marquette. And then to watch him build this program into a Final Four level program, have that special run where Marquette beat Kentucky in the regional final in Minneapolis. I still remember where I was when I watched that game. One of the best individual performances, maybe the best, by a Marquette player in a single game by Dwayne Wade. And then just Tom Crean's impact even beyond the Final Four. He was a huge part of the move to the Big East. I don't know that move happens without Coach Crean. And it'll be really cool to recognize that initial season, this season with Steve Novak and, Jarrell and all those guys on that team that had a really good first year in the Big East.
Amazing. Yeah, so a lot to celebrate this Saturday, and we'll talk about it more after this break. Marquette fans, Buffalo Wild Wings is the official viewing party location for Marquette road games this season. Check out the Golden Eagles watch party schedule at gomarquette.com/BWW. The next watch party of the season will be February 10th at the Brookfield Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go Sports Bar.
Hey Golden Eagles fans, Buffalo Wild Wings has partnered with the
Join us on select Thursday nights throughout the season to hear from head coach Shaka Smart and his players. Our next show is February 12th when Demarius Owens will join us here at Motor Bar and Restaurant on the Harley Davidson Museum campus. So, National Marquette Day aside, what is the game plan going forward for Butler? Without revealing too much of your trade secrets.
Well, I think for us it's mostly about playing Marquette basketball. Obviously, there's some specifics to playing against Butler. Their top two leading scorers can really put the ball in the basket. Number 5, Ajayi, and number 11, Bizjack. Those two, between the two of them, I believe had 50-something last night in their game against Providence. So we've got to do a great job of containing those guys, specifically on Bizjack, whether it's Chase Ross, Adrian Stevens, or whoever's guarding him. He can really cut and move around the floor, so sustaining our stance and making sure we contest everything. Then on our offensive end, the better we move the ball, the better we get the ball to second side, third side, and then attack closeouts. We're going to be in shape to get in the paint, get to the foul line, create wide open shots, And then offensive rebounding is always something that when we do it, we're a better offensive team. So those are all keys for us.
So playing Marquette basketball, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, we're excited about playing in front of our fans. National Marquette Day. We only get it once a year, so let's go after it.
Let's make the most of it. Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you, Trey. And thank all of you. Let's go, Marquette.